Now, I've been following a bit of the French Open here, and it seems that everything seems to be going quite to plan. And I know we've got a great tennis sports writer over at Odds Market called Joao. I believe he's 6-0 with his bets in these early days, and I thought normally that these sort of beginning ones can be like, we start to see quite a lot of upsets and a lot of drama, and it seems to be going quite swimmingly. How are your bets doing? Because that's obviously always a good thing for betting.
Well, so far the tournament is going pretty swell.
Yeah.
We're up 5 units after the first 3 days,
Cool.
and all of the outrights have safely moved on to round 2, so that's always a plus. No upsets there. So yeah, looking pretty good, and hoping to move on.
Yes.
Keep being in profit.
Yes. Well, very quickly, let's take a look at. So yeah, with the outrights, obviously everything seems to be going to plan. So not much movement in the men's. The men's there, Rafa Nadal still 1.83, Novak Djokovic 3.75. Simona Halep, though, has come in slightly. She's 5 now, Kiki Berkins 9.5. Do you think Simona Halep is looking, I know on the women's side it's a lot more risky. Many people like to sort of stay away from the outright, certainly until the first week has played out. But she's looking strong at the moment.
Yeah, I would say so. I managed to catch her round 1 match, which concluded about an hour before the show started. And she was in a bit of trouble against Ayla Tomljanovic, which is a dangerous opponent, big hitting opponent. So she started strong, and then she was pushed around a little bit in the second set, but then went on a tear to win the last set 6-1. So Halep is definitely looking strong, and as I said, pre-tournament, she's still the woman to beat, in my opinion.
Yeah, so you're holding a future on her to win the French Open?
Indeed.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so let's take a look, obviously, for tomorrow. What plays have you got for tomorrow?
Just real quick, some notes that I have. We had a few upsets in the WTA. Most notably, Petra Kvitova withdrew due to a grade 2 forearm tear, and Halep would have been facing her in the quarterfinals. So that's huge for Halep. Makes her road a little bit easier. So definitely a plus there on the outright side.
Okay.
And we have a bunch of good going into round 2, a bunch of good round 2 matchups. And I've focused on one of them. We're going to have Petra Martic versus Kiki Mladenovic. And that's a match between 2 players in fantastic form at the moment. Martic taking home the Istanbul title, and Kiki Mladenovic has been on a tear since she got Sasha Bajin, her new coach, on board. So both of these players are, right now, it's very close to call. I would stay away from the money line. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've bet the over 2.5 sets at 2.35. I really can't see either player pulling away in straights here.
All right. And what else are you looking at round 2?
Round 2, right now, I've locked in Elina Svitolina, minus 4.5 games at 190. She's had a terrible clay season thus far, but she started to find her groove versus Venus Williams in the first round, and she's coming closer to finding her best tennis. Her serve was still a little bit lacking, but apart from that, looking very solid right now. And obviously, Svitolina thrives on the red dirt. And if she comes close to the form she showed in the first match, I don't think Katerina Kozlova can keep up.
What about, are you looking at the Sloane Stephens match? I know she's short there, 1.25, but should she win this quite comfortably?
It's a bit of a tricky matchup. It's a sneaky good matchup between Sloane Stephens, who obviously she's a bit of hit or miss, really. When she gets hot and gets firing, she's extremely tough to beat. But when she's not on her game, she can lose to almost anyone on tour. Sara Sorribes Tormo is a good up-and-coming Spaniard on the red dirt. But I still think that Stephens is the play. I wouldn't play her to come through in straight sets. I would rather look at playing her at the spread, because she might end up losing a set if she's not careful. But I definitely think she should be able to come through here.
All right. Any other, so that's on the women's side. Are there any other bets that you're looking at on the women's side?
No more bets as of yet, but I'd advise anyone to keep a lookout. We have a real cracker. Naomi Osaka will face Victoria Azarenka, a matchup between two slam champions there. So that'll be a cracking match. Might add something from that one.
All right. And do you post your plays over? It's at Sneeze Master, SNIZE Master on Twitter. Do you do like in-play betting?
Yeah, sometimes. If I can watch the matches, and I definitely keep a lookout for the in-plays, because obviously there are a lot of fluctuations and good opportunities present themselves.
Yeah,
in live betting.
yeah. What about any parlay betting or ACCA betting? I know Alex is about to, but he can't write it just yet because he's got no electricity or internet. But he's doing each round parlay bets or ACCA bets. Do you have anything for the next round?
Not as of yet. Right now, I just got the 2-1 looks on the WTA side, but definitely keep a lookout on Twitter because definitely coming some additions there.
All right, and anything over on the men's side? Somebody mentioned in the comment section that they think that Novak Djokovic will beat Nadal in the final. That's quite a risky call, isn't it? Do you think? Obviously, it's possible, but hard to go against the King of Clay.
I mean, first of all, Djokovic looked amazing in his first round match against Hubert Hurkacz. That's a potentially tricky opponent. He has a big game. And definitely an up-and-comer, but Djokovic handled him very well and routed him quite comfortably. But as I said in my outright preview, he has a tough route to the final, where he'll run into some big names, most notably likely to face Dominic Thiem in the semifinal. And if he does that, he'll come into the final having faced probably the 4 or 5 set of really exhausting tennis and facing a Nadal who has a much easier draw, likely to be fresh, and still the king of clay. So I don't think Djokovic takes down Nadal if they do face up in the final.
Yeah. No, I have to agree with you with that. And Serena Williams obviously still holding at odds of 17. Obviously, she's not been in the same form after having a baby in recent time. She's got a tough route to the final. We see. Still, obviously, based on what we first saw, you still don't think she can make it all the way?
Unfortunately, sorry to disappoint any Serena Williams fans. I don't think that she's going to make it all the way. She actually went out and lost the first set quite heavily. But then she turned on the jets and came back. But obviously, the challenge now becomes, can she play 7 consecutive matches on clay, which is the most demanding surface, with her knee issues that have plagued her this season? That is the question. And as long as we have those injury doubts, I wouldn't want to lay any futures on Serena Williams.
I agree. But if
as you said,
if one woman can do it, I believe she can. But let's wait and see. Do you think she's got a Grand Slam title win, a possible this season?
I think she does. If she can stay fit, she's a great bet to win the US Open.
Yeah. And any plays? I know you don't have any plays for round 2 men's, do you?
I do, definitely. So getting into the men's, just to recap a little bit the action, all the big names came through quite convincingly. Federer rolled, Nadal rolled, Djokovic rolled. Tsitsipas and Del Potro also played very good games. Thiem was pushed a little bit versus an inspired Tommy Paul, who played really well and tactically pushed him on his backhand side. But he came through there as well. So going into round 2, we have some interesting matchups. We have Kei Nishikori versus Jo Wilfried Tsonga. We have Grigor Dimitrov versus Marin Cilic. And we have Stanislas Wawrinka versus Christian Garin. And for bets here, I've gone with Marin Cilic, minus 1.5 sets at 1.85. He's facing Grigor Dimitrov, who has not looked himself at all. The former world number 3 is struggling right now. He's very low on confidence. And he was pushed hard in a 5-set affair versus Janko Tipsarevic, who he really should beat quite easily. Cilic hasn't had a great season either, but he's definitely playing better than Dimitrov is right now, and I think he gets through there with a bit to spare.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you like for round 2 here? Yeah.
I got another bet, and it is on a Frenchman. So a home court player here. One of the shocks of the first round, Nicolas Mahut. He played some incredibly inspired tennis to come from 2-0 down in sets and to take out last year's semifinalist Marcos Cecchinato. It was really a joy to watch him play and watch the crowd erupt. And the veteran could celebrate with his boy after that match. And he shrewdly pressured Cecchinato's backhand, who plays a one-handed backhand, which Kohlschreiber also does. So I've gone with him plus 2.5 sets here at 2.06. Kohlschreiber can mentally go away in games and really get in the way of himself. And he's also getting up there in the age. He's 34 years old now. And I don't think he should be the favorite to take this in straight sets. He dropped a set versus Robin Haase, for example.
Okay. All right. So just to recap here for our viewers, what are the bets you like, both men and women, round 2, please?
All right. So ladies first, we started with Elina Svitolina minus 4.5 games at 190. And I've also gone ahead and played over 2.5 sets in Martic Mladenovic at 2.35. And over to the men's side, I've gone ahead and played Marin Cilic minus 1.5 sets at 1.85 and Nicolas Mahut plus 2.5 sets at 2.06. And as I said earlier, additions are likely, so keep an eye out on Twitter at SnipesMaster for more action from Roland Garros.